We've gotten a ton of questions on how to make gravy, and today I'm going to show you how to make turkey gravy, but the process is really going to be the same for any sort of roast that you're making. What I have here is all the drippings left over from a perfectly roasted turkey, and that's going to be the foundation for my gravy. Every turkey's different, so you never know exactly how much liquid you're going to get off the end, and that's why I really like this recipe, and I put it in quotes because this is real cooking to me. This is more about feel and what it's going to look like. So we're going to get started. I've got it on the burner, and I've got it up to a nice simmer, and all I have here is some all-purpose flour, and what I'm looking for here is consistency. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to sprinkle my flour in there. And then I'm going to whisk it up. Definitely want to have a whisk for this, just to scrape up those brown bits on the bottom. Okay, and you can see how it's already tightening up. And then I want to make sure that my flour is beautifully incorporated. And you can see it's already starting to thicken up almost immediately. And again, everybody's got a different idea of sort of what's the right consistency for gravy. Some people like it thicker, some people like it more of like a sauce consistency. So it's really up to you as to how thick or how thin you want it. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look at this. And I want this to be just a little bit thicker for the way that I like gravy. So I'm going to go ahead while this is simmering, and I'm going to add just a touch more flour. And I just want to sprinkle it over the top. That'll help along with the whisk from it getting lumpy. I think that's one of the complaints that we get. A lot of people say, well, my gravy's lumpy, my gravy's lumpy. I'm going to show you exactly how to make it not lumpy. The whisk is the first part you want to do. And you really want to, after you add flour to something like this, you really want to make sure that you get it up to a nice simmer. You want to cook that flour because you can actually taste sort of a raw starchy flavor if your flour's not perfectly cooked. So I'm going to go ahead and just turn this up just a little bit. Make sure my flour has had a chance, and you can see, look at the beautiful color. It smells exactly like roasted turkey. And what happens, that flour also almost helps everything emulsify because there is a fair amount of fat in the pan along with the turkey drippings, and that flour is really going to bind everything together so we get a nice smooth consistency. And you can see that consistency that we've got right there. It's almost exactly what I'm looking for, but I'm still going to go ahead and I'm going to add just a touch more flour, just so it gets a little bit thicker, because I'm going to fortify this with a little bit of chicken stock. Gravy is one of those things that freezes unbelievably well, so it's something that you really can't have too much of. And I think always when it comes to leftovers, particularly for something like Thanksgiving, gravy is one of the first things that you don't have when you're going to eat the leftovers. So to have too much gravy, certainly there's no problem. And this is the consistency that I'm looking for. Okay, you can see that. I run my whisk through it. It almost holds for a minute, and that's what I want. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to thin it out ever so slightly. I've got some culinary stock here, chicken stock. Chicken broth works just as well. And again, that's going to lighten up my color a little bit. I'm whisking. Okay, and you can see how it's thickening up nice. Okay, that flour is really starting to do its job. And this is all about feel, guys. Just take a look and look at what consistency you want to. Just make sure you've got it at a simmer the whole time. Okay? Don't be afraid to get into the corners with that whisk. Okay? And you just keep adding stock until you've got the consistency that you're looking for. And that's why I say this is really cooking from the heart. And you know, if you apply this rule to your everyday cooking, you're going to have a lot of success, because a lot of it is more about what it looks like and what it feels like to you. And there's a lot of things you can't tell by looking. You got to feel it a little bit, and that's what I love about making gravy. And again, this could just as easily be a leg of lamb. It could be a roast beef. The same process. A little bit of flour in the pan to tighten it up with the drippings, and then use the appropriate stock. So if I was doing lamb, I could use either chicken or I could use beef stock. If I'm doing a roast beef, obviously I want to have beef stock, but it's the same process for any sort of pan gravy that you're making. I'm just going to let this simmer, come back up to a simmer real quick, make sure I've got all those nice brown bits on the bottom of the pan, and then we'll talk about lumpy gravy, okay? Because we're not going to have lumpy gravy. Just want to make sure that comes up to one last simmer. And that's the nice consistency that I'm looking for me. I like mine a little bit on the thicker side, a little stick to your ribs kind of thing. And what I have here is I've got a Pyrex bowl, and I've got a mesh strainer. Okay, some of them are cone shaped. I like these because you get a lot more surface area. And now that this is up to a simmer, and I know that flour is perfectly cooked in, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to take my pan and I'm going to tilt it right over my bowl. Go right into my strainer. Go ahead and just give it a quick shake. Okay, you can even tap the side of it a little bit. I don't want to get in there with a spoon and force anything through because a lot of those bits can go through those holes. So I'm just going to go ahead and tap it with the side of my hand. And then we see we've trapped all those things, those lumps that people are so adamant about not having. I'll take my whisk, I get in there one more time, give it a final stir, and there you have it. Look at that. It is perfect turkey gravy. Right over the top of your stuffing, your mashed potatoes, no lumps, got the flavor of that roasted bird. Make your own gravy at home, folks. It's the easiest thing in the world.